as long as I've known you, and I was on this path too. You're very art focused, and like you weren't like, you didn't ignore business, but you weren't like business focused. And there's artists who are art focused, who have some business sense, and they do okay. And then there's artists who are very business focused, and they do pretty well. But I feel like you could have mediocre skills as an artist and great business sense, and you're going to be fine. But if you're a great artist and bad business sense, that could go bad. So I wanted to talk to you about your thoughts on art and business and how you've managed it in your life. This is the Inkpulp Podcast. Pew, 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 pew. Welcome.
A low level intro.
Welcome everyone to the low energy Inkpulp Podcast. It's going to be a low energy show because Matteo's fighting sickness and I'm working too much, so we're both just low energy. But it begs the question. So you don't drink coffee. Did you ever drink coffee?
I drink coffee. Sometimes it can happen. Like the only times it happens is if I'm at dinner with friends and I had a lot of food and I know that we're gonna go somewhere else. Especially before when I was younger, I knew that we're gonna, hit a club or something. Mm-hmm. So I needed the energy, especially, after eating a lot of food.
So you get an espresso?
Yeah, I'll get an espresso. But yeah, I had to make sure that my stomach was really, really full because otherwise it gives me like, I don't know how to say it, like acid reflux.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Otherwise, if I feel like I have to drink something that gives me energy, I'm at a bar or a cafe, I'll order a ginseng coffee.
Yeah.
So it's not coffee, so it doesn't fuck with my stomach.
Is that the main reason you don't drink coffee? Because it's so acidic?
No, also because I don't like the taste of it.
Yeah, that's
fucking
that's
bitter.
So bizarre to me.
Yeah, I hate it. The only way I can drink it's like a cappuccino maybe because it's mixed with milk.
Yeah,
and,
that's what I was going to add.
Or the espresso if I add sugar to it, so I don't drink it as it is. Otherwise, fucking sucks. The only time I really liked it, from what I remember, and is when I used to be a waiter in a restaurant, and they had great coffee, like amazing coffee. They grind it. We would grind it in the moment. Right. And I remember liking it a lot, but that's the only time in my life when I really liked it. Probably because I was drinking it a lot to, stay awake and, to do the work. And then, one thing led to another. I started liking it probably after. Like I was, using it for practical reasons, and then, you keep drinking it so you get a taste for it. But
sure.
I never really liked it. Also, I don't like the energy that it gives me, like caffeine.
Yeah.
I don't like, it's a kind of aggressive energy. It doesn't make me feel good. If you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like
it's anxious. It's anxious energy.
Yeah. I don't like it. Same way with Red Bull or those energy drinks with caffeine in it. I'm just, that's not the kind of energy that I like.
Yeah, I get that. What about
more
Frenchie?
of a cocaine guy?
Yeah, that's more your speed. That's more your speed.
Not nervous at all. Just relax.
Confident. Ready to take on the world.
Yeah. Francesca has a few coffee here and there. Like if it's,
but not every morning.
Vacation. No, not in the morning. She's a tea girl. Like she loves her tea. But so coffee is just for specific times, Like, for example, on vacation, after, lunch, she will have a coffee, or after dinner if we're doing something else. So she's not planning on going to sleep right after it.
Is that strange for Italians not to have coffee every morning?
Yeah, very strange. Like, most of the people we know, they drink at least 5 or 6 every day.
Right.
And they literally cannot function without it, which I don't, like, I genuinely don't understand because, I'm not addicted to it. But
right. Right.
But yeah. I remember when I used to work in a factory, I used to be how do you call it? The guy who uses the forklift.
Yeah, the forklift.
I used to do that job, the forklift guy.
Yeah.
And so when I had the night shift, so that would go 11, I think, to 11 to 7 a.m. or something like that, or 10 to 6, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. I remember I would drink a lot of coffee, and since I'm not a coffee drinker, I would feel it. And I remember precisely, like every time the shift was over, I would go home, and there was a specific moment as I was driving back home when I could feel like the coffee effect, like, going down. So I could feel it in my bones, like literally in my system.
Yeah, I believe that.
Because I wasn't used to it. So I notice when it's, when it's activated,
Yeah. Well, that's caffeine though. It gives you a boost, but then it gives you a crash. Like it's
yeah.
It's not,
do you drink a lot of coffee?
No. I have the equivalent of an espresso in the morning, just one, and then one in the afternoon, and that's it for the whole day.
But you never skip a day. Like you always have coffee during the day.
There's days where I skip the second cup, the afternoon espresso. But in the morning, it's kind of like a nice ritual I have where I get up, I have my coffee, and I go to the gym. Or like if we're at a con, I like having coffee in the morning. Do I absolutely need it? No, I'm not like at that level of addiction, but I enjoy having a cup. It just gets me moving. But again, it's like I don't have a full cup in the morning. It's like I brew. It's like not even a half a cup. It's kind of like an espresso.
Gotcha. Like the time when I got really, I was about to say impressed. I was shocked. Is the first time I spent some time with Shawn Murphy. Like I remember distinctly the first dinner we had. I think it was just him, his wife, and I. And before, like as we enter, they, in the States, they immediately a waiters come and they ask you for drinks. And he ordered like a full cup of coffee. Probably we call it Americano. I don't know how you call it. You probably just call it coffee.
Yeah, it's just coffee.
It's just,
the thing is, here's
the big cup.
Yeah. This I found interesting. When I was in Italy and I ordered an Americano, it was better and different than an Americano here. It's a lot smaller over there. So in Italy, it's
everything is smaller when it comes to drinks and food.
Right, but it's less. It's less. Yeah, it's true. But it's less water. So it's like 2 shots of espresso with 2 shots of hot water. And here, if you order that, it's called an Italiano. If you can believe that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But very few places know what an Italiano is. So sometimes when I see it on the menu, I'll be like, "Oh, I want one of those," but it's rare.
Yeah.
But what Shawn was drinking was coffee. Like people here get giant cups of coffee. Like I've never done that.
Yeah, but the thing that shocked me is that we had just entered a restaurant for dinner. Yeah. So if you do that in Italy, if you order coffee before
at the beginning,
dinner, you're an insane person. You should be treated with, drugs.
Shawn is an insane person.
So, and not only that, this is just the beginning. He kept ordering coffees as the dinner goes by. So
Shawn
when
did?
he finishes that, he orders another cup of coffee. From what I recall for sure 2 cups. Probably it was 3 cups during the whole dinner. And to me, it basically used it as the drink for the dinner.
Oh, I've never seen that. I don't even remember Shawn drinking coffee that much.
I think he had to lay back a little bit with coffee at a certain point. Probably. I don't know if I'm telling. He had some, a kind of a coffee breakdown or something. From what I recall, like he was, he had some problems with his coffee at a certain point. That to me was like the time in which it was like, Jesus, this is fucking Americans.
I mean, I've seen people like that. Yeah, people are just like I know people, they got to drink coffee just constantly. They always have to have a cup in their hand. Caffeine is like I'm like you with caffeine. It fucks me up, so I can't have a lot, but just a little bit of it I do enjoy. But it's more the flavor and like the ritual of coffee I love.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I should find my coffee, the coffee that I love, that I really like. I guess, there's millions of them. So probably there is a coffee out there for me. But the problem is that I love sweet things in general. I'm not a huge fan of bitter stuff. There's a few things here and there that I like that are bitter taste, that taste bitter. But there's just a few things. Like normally, I'm not a huge fan of the.
So bitter. In America, most people add sugar to their coffee. In Italy, is that not the case?
I would say it's a 50-50. Like some people add like half of a spoon of coffee, like a small spoon. Already, if you see somebody putting the whole bag, like they give you like this, the fucking paper bag for sugar. If you see somebody like I do, put in the whole bag, you're already, hey, lady, what you doing with your coffee? Are you enjoying your sweet tea? It's not really manly. Let's put it this way. Right. Generally speaking, I don't do manly stuff. Like especially when it comes to eating and stuff like that. Like I love like my favorite croissant, which everybody makes fun of me for that. It's a croissant with milk custard in it, so it's super sweet.
That's delicious. Well, here's the thing.
Well, you get me because you're clearly my team. But
yes.
and then I love even with alcohol. Like if you go past the wine levels, so if we go super alcoholic stuff, the reason why I started drinking bourbon is because it has that sweet aftertaste, the corn, the vanilla.
Yes,
that's why I love it.
I love it too.
The moment you give me a super aged bourbon, which basically a super aged bourbon becomes like more like scotch, so it becomes more balanced. I don't like it that much because it loses that sweet aftertaste.
I agree.
You know already. I told you various times.
Yeah, and that's why I love Woodford Double Oak, because it's like caramel. Like it's like drinking caramel. It's so good. But
absolutely.
And you like Moscow Mules? Those are sweet too.
Moscow Mules, I was about to say. Moscow Mules is my favorite. And what else? There's this other cocktail that I used to love that all the girls like in the early 2000s used to order when they didn't want to, they didn't want to get fucked up, but they just wanted to hold a cocktail just to okay, I'm drinking a cocktail. It was called a pesquito. Okay. Pesquito. Okay. So it's peach vodka and lemon soda.
Oh, that sounds good.
No, it's super, like, it's good to me, but it's super sweet. Like it's not, people don't even consider it a drink. And another stuff that I love, and every time I try, like people were making too much fun of me, so I stopped. There was a period like a few months ago when I started ordering, but people were giving me weird looks, and which I don't understand why. It's the Baileys. Like I love it.
Yeah.
Super sweet. Like, oh my God, so creamy. I love it.
Did you drink it just by itself on the rocks?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure, I get it.
Love it.
Put it in coffee.
Sweet,
That's
so easy
popular.
to drink.
People put it in coffee here, yeah.
So that would make me look a little less effeminate.
Well,
but then if I add coffee, I had to add sugar to it.
right. But when you drink Bailey's, it just looks like you're drinking a big glass of cum. So that's
basically cum with coffee in it,
right?
Because it's slightly brown, or cum with shit in it. Oh, I'm so happy that Eric is not here, so we can say all this stupid shit. So basically, okay, here's what Bailey's is. So a guy fucked another guy in the ass. And then this guy farted. So there's a mix of cum and shit. And that's what Bailey's is. It's a mix of wet farts and cum.
His last name was Bailey, so they called it Bailey's.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how Bailey used to run.
Oh, Eric's never
used to run
back.
shit in town.
Eric's never coming back. I think
absolutely. Speaking of which, like, it's so funny because, like, now in the summer, since a lot of other commitments are not on the table for me, like my, therapist, there's less stuff that I have to do. So I go to the gym 3 times per week,
Oh, that's good.
So usually since it's easier, I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because that's perfect,
Sure.
And at 1 p.m. And I realized 2 days ago, I was like, oh, fuck. We have now the podcast is at 2 p.m. for me. So I have the gym is at 1 p.m. So I cannot make it on time. So I contacted the gym because I had to book my spot. It's not.
Really?
It's classes. Yeah,
it's
because
classes,
it's 4 people classes at the time. Okay. It's not personal training, but it's
What kind of class
sometimes
is it?
It's dance class. No, I'm kidding. And at the end, we all drink Baileys.
This is Matteo's coming out of the closet today. That's what's happening.
Yeah. So basically, I call them classes. It's just fitness. It's just, you lift weights and stuff like that. But you have one instructor for 4 people. So
yeah, it's a class.
Depending on, like a
cross training.
Yeah,
I get it.
So, but sometimes if it's like 3 girls and me, maybe the 3 girls that, they have different exercises to do. So it becomes basically a personal training session sometimes. Anyway, so long story short, I text the guy telling him, hey, listen, is there any way on Wednesday we can, I can do a spot on at noon instead of 1? And he was like, no, there's nobody at noon. So there's no other way around it. I was like, okay, let's do Thursday then. When do you have time? And he told me, okay, there's a free spot at 1 p.m., the same time that you usually go. I was like, okay, perfect. Sign me there. But at the same time, like tomorrow I had to take my son to a specialist, to a dermatologist, because he's been having this fucking thing. And it's, it's basically little bubbles on his face, and it's basically spreading around because he can't keep himself from scratching them because it's, it itches. And whenever you scratch them, there's some liquid coming out of it.
Is it poison ivy?
We call it here. It's I had to find it online. It's a really Italian name for it, so I don't know.
But it's not a plant. It's not from a plant. From touching a plant.
No, it's infectious. Like, it's super infectious from a person to another person, basically. So we spend, especially in pools. So we spend 10 days around vacation at a pool, and that's where, like, if you jump in the pool and you have it, like, forget about it. Like, everybody's gonna get it. The only thing is that adults don't tend to get it. It's more like a kids, like young people thing. But the problem is that if you're older, that you can't scratch it. He doesn't know. He's 3 years old. So he keeps scratching it. And the day after, there's 10 new ones. And then 20 new ones. So right now, we found the first one on his face. And now he has some on his arm. So tomorrow I got to take him to the dermatologist and see if she can burn them, do something with it. Because otherwise it's a shit show. So now I have this thing, and then right after I have to take it back to grandma's, and then I had to, go to the gym and all that. But, I got to do it. Fuck it. And then what happens last night? Our great friend, Eric Canete.
Oh, no.
Text us at the last second. He's like, sorry, guys, I can't make it for the show. So all this fucking thing for nothing. Because, the reason why we started recording at 2 p.m. here, Italian time, is literally just for him.
I know.
But now it's not on the show. So.
It's the same thing with me, because I get up at 5:30 and I get to the gym, and usually at 8 a.m. I'm in my workout. But Eric wants to record at 8 a.m. So then it's like my whole day becomes like a Lego puzzle where I'm like, all right, I'll get up, I'll go do the podcast, then I'll go to the gym. It's like everything gets thrown. That's why last night I was like, hey, if Eric's not on, can we do 11? Because then I can get my gym done. Like it can be a normal day. But yeah. Fucking
absolutely.
Eric. Eric. The shit we do for Eric.
Jesus Christ. Fucking asshole. Piece of shit. All right.
So I do have a.
Huh?
Yeah. Well, what can do? I do have a question, but first thing, I want to make a few announcements. Tell me about your website. How's it going? It's up. It's functional. Is it going well?
It's up. It's functional. It's going well. I haven't been using it lately because I've been busy with stuff. So, and plus my website has a really, simple structure. Mm-hmm. So there's not a lot of stuff to do with it other than using the newsletter. Right. I was thinking that soon I'm going to be releasing a new like discount code or something. And,
for artwork.
For original artwork. Mm-hmm. And, generally speaking, I haven't been doing much with it. But I want to start updating people about my project. So I might gonna share some pages or start talking about it.
Do you have a blog on there that you're going to do that on, or you can do it in a newsletter?
No, I don't have any blog. I'm just gonna do newsletter.
Okay,
that's it.
Good.
I think it's a whole work in progress. Like I think that my idea is I want to try and go for a year or something like it, just to have an idea of if it's working or not, and what should I change, or if it's fine as it is. Yeah. Like so far, I did the last newsletter. It was an offer for a discount code for original art, like a 15% off. Yeah. And that worked. Like we sold a bunch of stuff, so it was good so far. So far, so
that's good.
How about you?
Yeah.
Do you have?
Just let me make a point on what you said. I think it's important that, because I think young artists, and I was guilty of this too, or artists in general, you try to make something perfect before you release it. But I think the way you're doing it, because it's the way I'm doing it too, I think that's the healthy way to go. Like, get it about 80% ready and then release it. And then you can see what works, what doesn't work, and you can make adjustments of it. And you'll have a better result in the end than instead of trying to make it perfect and then putting it out. I think it's a better way to go. Yeah,
unless a little pushback on that, like unless you have a website that is really complex. Like, for example, I understand, like for you, that might be a little different because there's a lot of moving parts on your website. You can buy stuff on the website. It's it's different. There's a specific, there's I bet there's specific terms for the two kinds of website, like mine and yours, but it's definitely different, especially when there's
but so mine is up
involved.
Yeah, mine is up, and I'm gonna put this out there. It's inkpulp.tv, and I've built this to be a home for the Inkpulp community. Yes, it's my website, but there's it's gonna have a lot of Inkpulp community stuff on it. So I have a blog on there. When you go there, that you'll see a landing page, like a little illustration of Negasonic Teenage Warhead pops up, and it asks for your email. Please sign up, because when you sign up for the website, you're going to get my newsletter, and B, you're going to create a login. So I'm going to have message boards on there, and we'll have discussions for the podcast, for the live show, for Inkpulp instruction, for just projects that I'm working on. And what we're going to eventually have, and this is why I said, it's not fully ready, but it's up. We're going to eventually have like a VIP membership where for just a little bit of money, you'll get access to certain like message boards that aren't for the public, and you'll get access to projects and process stuff I'm working on that isn't for the public. And I'll have some Inkpulp instruction videos that'll be free for people who sign up for that. So the website's live. There's a merch section, and there's a link to my original art and all that jazz. So yeah, there's a lot going on the website, but I'm opening it now, and it's probably about 90% of what I want, but I want to see how it goes. I want to learn as I go, to finish it up. So I want to get it, use the rest of the year to kind of finesse it, but it's up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I think that as long as you have, technically speaking, a structure that allows you to modify things as you go, I think it's the right thing to do. Like, even if it's at 90% ready, not 100, like, put it out there. Worst case scenario, you'll just communicate through the newsletter that this thing has been changed because this is that. Right. Are you planning on having a constant newsletter? Because in my opinion, like, the way I'm planning on doing it, it's just gonna be like a few newsletters along the year, and only just when I have special codes or discount codes, or when I have a show, or to promote a new book. For example, the book that I'm working on, my book, once things start to, get in good shape, I'll start, talk about it.
Yeah. So. For me, the first of every month will be a newsletter, and it will have like a lesson, like an art lesson. Like, the newsletter will basically be a free art lesson. And then, like, when I release like my Kickstarter, or if I'm going to a con, I'll send a separate newsletter that month. So it's basically one a month. Sometimes it'll be two a month. But
Can I give you a suggestion for the first lesson? How to make a homemade Baileys, the way we described it earlier,
with pictures
and
everything.
Your buddy. Yeah, you call your buddy. Depends on your preference. You're the one taking it or giving it. Or depending on the one who comes the most. So you get more Baileys out of it.
But let me tell you this. I think I have a better idea. I think we should make
even better than this. Oh, I can't wait to listen.
Because since we're teaching people how to make something.
Oh, we should show them, right?
Right. We can make a YouTube video of it.
It's an instructional. So I think they will let us do it, how to make a homemade.
I'll put it under the Inkpulp instruction banner with all the proper branding and everything.
Yeah. Then we'll start promoting at shows with, families with kids. If your kids wants to start a career in comic books, there's, Inkpulp and Crushable. Please, I beg you, let them see the first lesson number 1. There's a video.
So you realize at New York Comic Con, you're going to have to drink Baileys. We'll both drink Baileys, and we'll take pictures for podcast people. They'll get the joke.
Well, also, we'll have to try to ask, if you go to a bar, we'll have to ask for a pesquito, the one that I described before, the peach, the peach vodka and lemon soda, and see the face that the barman does.
He's gonna be like,
he'll be
what
happy
are you
about it. Yeah.
He's not gonna know what the fuck it is. That actually, I had a question for you. So I found a restaurant in New York that I was thinking about taking us to, but I needed to ask you first. It's called the Gnoccheria. So it's basic.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just gnocchi. And they have like 5 choices of gnocchi. You got pesto, there's alla vodka, there's Alfredo, and a few others.
Okay, the fact alone that you already said Alfredo, that makes me really suspicious.
I know, because I've learned about like Alfredo in America, and I get it. But the thing is, this chef is from Italy, and he just wants to make gnocchi. So I don't know. I don't know if it's good or not, but I thought I'd ask.
I mean, I guess we can still try it. I'm not against trying, Italian stuff outside.
No, but
of Italy,
I think we should go back to Il Punto. That seemed to be
Il
a good
Punto.
one.
I liked it.
Yeah,
it's not super like. I know Il Punto. Yeah. That was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, you said that was more like real Italian, not American.
Yeah,
Italian.
that was real Italian. Like I spoke to the guy and he spoke Italian not like an Italian American guy. It literally like you can tell that he came from Italy. Like,
he's from Sicily. Yeah,
recently.
He came from Sicily, and his mom mails him the cookies from Sicily for the restaurant.
Yeah.
So
it's
we'll do Il Punto.
That one's good. It's simple, like comfort food from Italy, and it's a nice,
very good.
A nice one.
That's the one where I had a salad, and the salad dressing was onion ice cream.
Oh,
that was good.
Fancy.
That was It was good. Very, very different, but good. All right. Yeah, I'm just starting to work on the New York dinner, so I'm just starting to think about that stuff. But so the topic I kind of wanted to talk about today was, I'm working with Jake Parker. We're putting together a class for next year that him and I are going to teach together.
By the way, he's going to be the guest on the next episode, right?
No, not the next episode. We're recording with Jake in in
August. August.
Yeah.
August 14th.
Yeah, and the reason is because Jake and I are we're doing a workshop in September. Before, like the big class is 10 weeks long. The workshop is just 2 Saturdays. So I'm going to go on his podcast. He's going to come on my podcast, and we're just going to talk about like teaching art and stuff. So that'll be. Are
they going to be like live, like meaning in person or online?
It's online, and there's going to be 2 types of workshops you can purchase from us. One, which is where you just come on the first Saturday and you get the lesson and you can ask questions and all that. But the other one is if you want to get like a personal portfolio review, that's what the second Saturday is for. So you can sign up for the workshop and the portfolio review. So we'll talk about the lesson, and then the next week we'll look at your work. And so you have 2 options to sign up. Yeah. So so we're going to be doing a little bit of a promotional thing then. But talking to Jake, I just like I love his art, and he's a great comic book artist. But he's also a brilliant businessman.
He's a fucking asshole. I fucking hate him. His personality. That's the main problem.
That's the big problem.
Jake, we love you. We're just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, he's awesome to work with. He's one of the easiest going people. But he's a brilliant, like he's so focused on business, not in a bad way. Like I think we know some artists who are just all about business. Jake's all about art, but he also spends a lot of time learning business.
Yeah.
And like when I talk to him, I'm doing a lot to build my businesses, but I always feel like, fuck, I'm so far behind on all this business stuff. And it got me thinking, like, you as long as I've known you, and I was on this path too, you're very art focused. And
Yeah.
like you weren't like, you didn't ignore business, but you weren't like business focused. And there's artists who are art focused, who have some business sense and they do okay. And then there's artists who are very business focused and they do pretty well. But I feel like you could have mediocre skills as an artist and great business sense and you're going to be fine. But if you're a great artist and bad business sense, that could go bad. So I wanted to talk to you about your thoughts on art and business and how you've managed it in your life.
Huh. That's it's a good question. I was thinking about it a few days ago. Okay, generally speaking, this thing, I've already said it more than one time, but I'm gonna repeat it. Like, to me, like, I consider money as a happy consequence. Mm-hmm. Like the main thing is just do what you like. Mm-hmm. And eventually, if you manage to do something that you like, which is not, it sounds common. It sounds something that should be common, but it's not common amongst people in general, especially artists. It's this thing of being happy about what you're doing, like liking, like when you finish something, you look at it and you like it. Mm-hmm. Like I'm thinking, like, if I was a reader, I would love, if I wasn't an artist and just a reader, I would love this artist, which is, me. I would love this guy's art. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's the feeling that I'm chasing. Let's put it this way.
Right.
So, and once you get to that level, unless you're a psycho or a sociopath, and generally speaking, like, if you really like something, there's probably a bunch of other people that like it. All right. Mm-hmm. Therefore, if you like your own art, you're gonna probably be finding a bunch of other people that like it. Mm-hmm. And the higher the quality of your work is, the higher the number of people that like it. So and therefore here comes the consequence. Therefore, you're getting more and more work requests, so you can, the demand rises up, so you can ask for more, and here comes the money. But it's a happy consequence of reaching a certain level of quality and reaching a certain level of satisfaction about what you do. And so that's my system so far, and so far it has worked. Right. Also, I like to invest time and money on stuff. Like, I'm not huge on, before doing something, okay, let me do some money. And this might not be considered that smart from a lot of people, from a lot of perspectives. But I don't, like, once I kind of like the idea of doing a specific thing, I don't start immediately by doing the math of, okay, this is going to cost me X and the profit is going to be this and blah, blah, blah. I'm not wired that way. If I feel like it's a good thing and it's going to make me happy, I'm going to do it. Like, even my book, like, I know that it's a mini series. So generally speaking, a mini series will never sell like, an ongoing series.
Right.
And issues, it's 5 issues, but each issue is like 35 to 40 pages long, which is, again, not that, not that cool if you're trying to maximize profit. Also, I could find easily like a publisher with the work that I've done so far, which, you know, I'm working on issue number 3 as we speak. I have the dialogues, like I have material. So, in generally speaking, like I could find already a publisher that could pay me money up front to do it. And instead, I'm decided, no, I want to be in control for once of all the process. So therefore, when I finish the book, it is what it is. Whether you like it or not, this is what's coming out. If nobody's interested, I'm gonna self-publish it, whatever. But that's the product that I'm putting out there. So I'm spending money. Like I'm paying for a team, which is a small team of people, because I'm doing all the main stuff is on my shoulders. But I have a translator, a literal translator. Literally translator, translating all my dialogues. I have, a letterer and a designer. I have some people working on it.
So you've already hired these people?
I'm paying these people.
Nice.
But I don't care. Like a person who's really focused on the profit and on the business side of the things would have done things way differently than I am, because I'm focused. All the stuff that I'm focusing on is to make this process fun is not the right term, but the way that I plan to. You want
to keep it pure to your vision.
I get that. I had an idea and a vision, and that's what's gonna be like. Unless it's gonna be taking so much time that I finish. I ran out of all my money in my bank account, so therefore I'll have to find out, something else. But yeah, that's my main thing. So again, like money has always been a happy coincidence, a happy consequence for me.
Right.
The risk that I see in other systems, like as you said in your premise, there's people that are really business driven. I understand them. It's a different system. I don't have anything bad to say about those systems. Like the only risk, like everything, there's there's strength points and weaknesses and risks to every system. Like to me, the risk is that maybe the book doesn't go well and I wasted a lot of energies and money in it without making that much money out of it. Like the risk that I see in the other system, the really business driven system, is that you have this sudden change. So all of a sudden money doesn't become a consequence, but it becomes the goal. So every action you make is driven by how much money this is gonna get me. And the risk in there is that by keeping, doing so, you lose track of what you really like. So you end up not doing the stuff that you're supposed to be doing, but you end up doing the stuff that pays you the most based on all the math and calculations that you've done. So yeah, I don't know. Like I've been doing better and better in terms of money. Not this year because I'm focused on doing my book, so I'm mostly spending money than making them. But it's fine. It's a calculated thing that I've decided to do.
Sure.
But I remember somebody asking me, like a younger artist, asking me for advice on what to do, and they were like, "Yeah, because to me, like you've always been, a guy who always made the right choices in terms of business. Like you've always, when you decided to do this, it was at the right time, and then you moved to this other thing, it was at the right time." And I told them, like, if you knew all the backstage things, like you wouldn't be so convinced about it. Like I'll give you a really practical example. Like recently we had Mark Millar and on the podcast. Like I remember I was still working on Black Science, And he asked me to do a book with him back then. And back then, he hadn't sold his company to Netflix, so he still owned like basically everything he had. He had, a few things going on with TV and TV shows. He had, KICKSTARTER and a few other things.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the Netflix Mark Millar yet. Right. So I told him like, okay, let's do something, and he told me, are you going to be free in whatever? I don't remember the year, like say April next year, 6 months from now. I was like, okay, yeah, I can do that. And then in those 6 months, I was still working on Black Science. So when the time came, he contacted me back again. And I was like, okay, so are we going to do it? And by then I was like, you know what? I just want to commit to Black Science. I don't want to do other stuff. Like I'm happy with Black Science. It's paying off. Right. We're making good money. Right. So if that's okay with you, are you okay with me finishing Black Science first? And back then I still had at least another 10 issues or probably, 15 issues to go. So it's, still at least a couple of years more of Black Science.
Right.
Let's say a couple of years just to make sure. But,
okay.
So I was like, okay, it's fine. And it's, no problem. Like Mark is super cool and he understands. And then what happens like the very next year is that, so Mark starts, hiring other people. So I don't actually know what was the project for me of the ones that he gave to other people.
What had he done at this point? Was Chrononauts out yet?
Yeah. Chrononauts was out.
And was Raphael's Huck out? Do you know?
Not yet, I think.
Okay.
That time. It was around that time. So it wasn't the whole, spectrum of his production.
So the Goran Parlov book wasn't out yet, the Stardust or Starlight, whatever it's called.
No, not yet. I don't think so.
Okay.
So yeah, what happens if I don't know how much, later, but he sold his stuff to Netflix. So every single one of those artists got a big check.
Big one.
We're not talking about like life changing. Probably maybe I spoke to.
It's pretty close to life changing. Yeah,
it was life changing.
It's
probably
life-changing.
For an American. Oh, you know about the numbers.
I know, yeah, because I was with when the deposit happened, and he was like, "Dude, look," and I was like, "Jesus Christ!"
Can you tell me and we'll bleep it?
Yeah, Jamie bleeped this. It was. I already said it.
Well, Jamie put the fucking blur on his mouth, even though I can't see anything.
Jamie,
mustache and beard.
Put a bottle of Bailey's in front of my mouth.
Jamie, put my cock in his mouth.
Oh, we can do that off camera, baby.
Okay, it was that number. That's more or less what I had in mind.
Yeah.
It's you like. Well, you have to consider taxes and all that stuff, right?
Right. It depends on the cost of living. So for me, it would have changed my life because I could have, with that kind of money, I don't have a big house. I could have paid off my house and I wouldn't have a mortgage. And without a mortgage, I don't need to make life would be much easier. I wouldn't stop working.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not the type of money you can stop working, but you can live your dream. The reason I'm asking all this.
Just 1 second. Let's also blip the artist's name just to make sure.
Yeah, that's so a good
that people
idea.
don't start to speculate and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
But
that's a good idea.
So probably we should bleep the other artist's name that I named. Well, whatever.
Yes,
fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's bleep everything.
Yeah, just bleep the whole episode. We'll just be like.
Or we can just speed it up like. It's not. Yeah, as you said, it's not. It can be life changing in some aspect, meaning that life gets easier, but it's not. Yeah. It's not. I'm gonna stop working.
Right. I'm not
money.
gonna go live on the beach for the rest of my life and never have to worry about money. It's not that kind of money, but it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And
well, maybe a Greek unknown beach, really shitty one.
Oh yeah,
maybe
that sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. So you're saying because you turned down that job, you missed out on that money?
Yeah. I missed out on that money, and of course when it happened, and they told me about the numbers, which I kind of understood more or less the right number. I was like, "Fuck." I could have used that money, So I don't always I'm not a business magician. I just what I do is that I always try to make the decisions based on various factors, and I always trying to trust my instincts. So if I feel
that's good.
This thing is not good for some reason, I'm not gonna do it, even though it's there's
I look at
stuff in there that might be interesting.
I look at you and where you are just with your art and money, and I'm like, that's like the perfect place for me. Like, you have comfort, like you have the financial comfort, and you have complete creative freedom now. And that's where I'm really wanting to be. I want to have financial comfort for once, and I just want to be able to have that creative freedom. So as far as some of the artists who made that big money, it's that's great, but I don't see them as happy as I see you, some of them, from knowing them.
Also I think, and I've already spoken about this, but it's we actually spoke about it in the previous episode, so I'm not gonna repeat it. I'm gonna do a really quick thing, but it's so weird to me that sometimes in the States I have people that who was talking about it recently. They were talking about the LA, and they were saying that they were giving financial help to people under 80 grand a year, like people that would make under 80 grand a year. Maybe it's a fake news, or the guy who told me is just dumb.
You're talking about in Los Angeles?
I think it was the LA. They told me that they basically the range of poverty in LA is considered to be like 70 grand or something. Like under that, you're considered lower class and you need help. If I'm butchering this one, it's bullshit. I'm sorry. That's what my friend told me. In that case, I will give you his address, his phone number, and you will.
Is your friend in Italy, or is this an American friend?
Oh, okay. Is in Italy. I think is a news that he read somewhere, so it might be completely wrong.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that. I mean, look, LA is very expensive to live in. I don't think you're considered on the poverty line at $80,000 for a single person. But even then, they don't give away money for being poor.
Or maybe as a family, but it's still a decent amount of money.
Yeah. I don't think that's true. And then the idea that poor people just get free money, I don't think that's true. Like there's
some help of some sort.
Yeah, there's
maybe,
some help.
Whatever.
Yeah, there's like food stamps and stuff, but those people are that's poverty. I don't think 80,000 is there, but that sounds like something you'd see on fake news. But I don't know, maybe it's real. I don't know. I don't know.
But again, going back to it, I don't know. I see there's this weird thing. It looks to me, at least. So again, if I'm wrong, sorry. I don't want to insult the U.S., the amazing people of the United States of America. I love you guys.
Just Naples. But, you just want to upset Naples.
Yeah. That's the only people that I hate. But it looks to me like there's this constant, whenever you start making more money, then your lifestyle has to change, as a consequence.
Right.
So you're basically okay. So now that I have more money, I can do more depth, basically.
Right.
So
right.
I'm gonna buy a more expensive house with a lot of rooms. Most of them I don't need, and I'm gonna have a bigger mortgage, and then I'm gonna switch to in 10 years from now I'm gonna make more money. I'm gonna sell that house that I own in order to give an advance on a new house that's bigger in a better place, true. And I get more in depth, and it never ends. So therefore, you're fucked, because the moment you stop making the money that you used to make for some reason, you lose your arm, whatever, you're completely fucked. Like you don't have
and that's
you don't have a plan for it.
Yeah, that's a good thing to point out, because I mean my cost of living is pretty low. So once I can find a financially comfortable way of being, I'm not going to get a bigger house. I'm not going to get a more expensive car. And I've just told my kids, if you want to be an artist, especially in America, just keep your cost of living low, and you can make it work much better.
Especially because I come from a family of savers. Like the policy in our house, the way my parents have always done it is, we're going to work. We're going to make sure that every month, if we make 10, we're going to save at least 4.
That's awesome.
And so on and so on. And maybe in 5 years, we're going to be able to buy the new car,
Yeah.
Or buy something else. So accumulate money on the bank account, and then spending on something cool.
Right.
And then going back to stage 1. But, at the same time, my parents never made a lot of money. Like they've always been at the end of their working careers, they were making my father probably $2,000 and my mom probably $1,800 per month. So they never had a lot of money. So, the thing that they would buy and never accumulate too much money in the bank account. I remember probably at a certain point they had $25,000. Okay. And that's when my dad spent it to buy a new car. So he sold the old car and bought a new one. Okay. But, so the thing that I'm noticing is that I still have that mentality. So whenever I get, even if I make a lot of money, I don't spend most of it.
Yeah, that's good.
Not, I learn how to enjoy life more. So I don't give a shit. I do some stuff that my mom would judge deeply. Fuck what? It. I'm gonna flight first class. Yeah. How much is the flight? It's $3,000. What? No, come on. Are you doing that? I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. I have the money. Why don't treat myself for once?
Yeah.
It's just hypothetical. She never said that. It's the inner dialogue that I'm doing, thinking about my mom and what she would say. They will get 7 connecting flights if they find it a cheaper. The funny thing about them is that they're not retired. They're cool. They have, they own their house. They don't have big expenses, but they still reason they're grinding. If they are 2 young people with low income and with a child to raise, they're still in that mindset. So whenever there's old furnitures, what are we doing? We're just start cutting it out and finding and creating a new furniture out of it. And it's just fucking, trash that piece of shit. They still have the same furniture.
This reminds me of when your dad needed a new car when we were in New York.
Oh my God. By the way, he still needs, he bought a new car, but he's still keeping that piece of shit Multipla. He still has that car. Fucking incredible. I can't believe
that fucked you, because his car broke down when they were supposed to come help Francesca with Aaliyah when you were in New York, and they couldn't help her out.
Yeah. Fucking hell, man. I hate that car, man. I hate that car so much, and I still see it from time to time because my father still uses it.
He still drives it?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Well, because by the way, he bought a Lexus. Not a fancy one, but hybrid, like an SUV, nice one, like a older model from like 2 years ago. So it's not, the best on the list,
but it's a good car.
It's a nice car.
Good car. Yeah.
It's a nice car. But the fact is that it's a automatic gear.
Mm-hmm.
So he's really scared. Like he did a few fuck ups here and there with the automatic because he's not used to it. So what the fuck do you think it does? Tell me. It keeps going back to the piece of shit car. And what happens is that the more he drives that piece of shit, since he's starting to get old, like he's 73 now. So, he keeps driving that piece of shit with a manual stick. So he's not practicing on the new car. So the more you don't practice, the more when you start using it, you're rusty. So he's like, oh no, I'm having trouble. So he's basically not using a new car and keep using the piece of shit car. It's fucking unbelievable. I can't.
So when you got your Toyota, did they think you were spending too much money on a car?
No, because I didn't spend a lot of money on it. It was it was a secondhand. Like it's not expensive in the first place. Like I think it was like around 35 grand.
Yeah,
and I bought it almost basically new. It had like 17, 10,000 miles on it, basically new for like 17. So it's nothing,
Oh, that's great. You got a great price on that car.
Yeah, it was a great deal. Like right now, that car is worth, the same car would be worth like 25.
Yeah, because I'm going to get a new car in October. Zoe's going to get my car, which I love my car now. But I'm looking at that Toyota GR86 or Miata. Yeah. The Mazda.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love that car too.
Yeah, it's a great car. And they're both about the same price. And I looked at used cars, but used cars are so expensive right now. It just, there's no way I could afford it. But the lease options, especially on the Mazda, made it very, very affordable.
Yeah, the difference is that the Miata is like a pure coupe. So it's just 2 seats, not a lot of room for stuff. The cool thing about my GT86, which is now the GR86, they improved the whole thing.
Right.
Is that there's a lot of trunk, there's back seats, which is not that big. Oh,
there's back seats.
Yeah, there's back seats.
Because my car doesn't have back seats now.
Yeah, my son's seat fits in there. It has the actual the hooks for the thing.
Okay.
Like
I didn't know that because right now my car is a 2-seater, and there's no back seats, but I have a good trunk, and that was my concern about the Miata was the trunk.
Yeah, no, that has the back seats with they're not big, so if you have like a man in there cannot fit properly. Like I drove with 3 friends of mine in there just for a short amount of how do you say, whatever, like a short trip,
distance,
for a short distance. And we're comically funny to see because you could see like 4 guys like just all cramped up in a small car. But for kids or like women, like tiny women, they can fit in there if you cut them in pieces, of course. And and you can put the back seats down so you have the full thing. Like I went to a show with my car.
That's what I have
with
now,
the banners, all the stuff, with all the boxes, with books and all the stuff, and everything. Fit.
I mean, my first choice was the Toyota, just because I like it a little better. But now hearing all that, because when I travel, like you said, sometimes I have to have a big piece of luggage. Like if I'm going to Italy for a week, I got to have a big piece of luggage, and I have to look at the Miata to see if that could even fit the luggage I need. But
like my luggage, that's really big. You saw that. I mean, I think that yours is more or less the same size. It fits and there's still room for a few things here and there around.
All right,
it.
Cool.
In my trunk, and if you put the back seats down, forget about it. Forget about it. There's so much space in there. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm hoping I can afford that one because I love that car. That car is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. And it's a Toyota. It never breaks. The only problem I had is that because the battery was done, but it wasn't a problem. Like it was literally after a certain amount of time, the battery dies. So you have to change it. Right. That's it.
Right.
Never another single problem with that car. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And but going back, sorry, to and then we're gonna close because we're past 1 hour.
Yeah.
But so the thing that I had to think about is that I had to switch that saver mindset. That thing of the other day I just changed my bank account, and the lady from the bank, my consultant, they just called me, and I had an appointment with her, and she's like, you're starting to have too much money on your bank account, which, by the way, I don't understand, like, what banks are for. Like, literally, they're created so that people don't have to keep their money under the bed.
Right.
So your literal job is to keep my money safe.
Well, I think
when I put too much of it, which, by the way, we're not talking a lot like 500 grand. We're talking about 100 grand. Okay. So I'm declaring it. I have 100 grand in my bank account, slowly going down because I'm spending money because I'm not making any, basically. But she was worried about 200 grand being too much. And I'm like, so what the fuck are you guys doing here? Like, what's this thing? Well, let me ask you,
but is she saying like this amount of money sitting in your account isn't smart because if you put it in something else, it can grow better? Is that what she's saying?
Yeah. But generally speaking, when you start going over a certain number, also they tell you, well, because, we're insured for a certain amount of,
shit.
If shit hits the fan, like, we can't guarantee you. I'm like, well, so why are you here?
Yeah.
Like, why do you exist? Right. If not to keep my money safe? Then I understand that it would be smarter to put some aside to do, to make them, make some profit out of it. That's understandable. But you can't tell me that you can't keep them in there. It's literally your job. If tomorrow,
that's crazy.
Yeah, if tomorrow I want to put 2 million in there, you have to take them and keep them there. There's no excuse, But yeah, so yeah, the thing is that, to me, that the main change in my life is that I had to change my mindset a little bit regarding that.
Yeah, because, but you're smart. I mean, you're smart with money. You don't spend like just to spend. I mean, when you see something you might want, you'll get it, but you're not just throwing money away.
Yeah, no. I was talking the other end, like not being too much of a saver,
right?
And not being too, because if you have 10 and you decide I'm gonna keep 4 on the side, it's cool. If you have 1,000 and you decide to keep like 4 on the side, and you decide to keep 400 on the side, it's different. Like, you're starting accumulating money. So yeah, I have it's stuff that I'm working on. And there's people that navigate that way much easier than I do. But I'm not there yet. I don't even know if I'll ever be. But
you seem to me, from the time we spent together, that you have a healthy relationship with money. You're not stupid with it. You save, but you're not crazy about saving. I think you've got a good balance going on.
Yeah. Generally speaking, I would say that if I had to put money in something, I would avoid probably like the stock market and all this kind of shit, which, first, I don't understand. And second, the few things that I understand, I don't like them. Yeah. I'd rather spend them in a house that I'm later renting or stuff like that. At least, I can see.
Real estate's a better way to go. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. But,
all right, fratello.
Yes, all right. We made it again without the motherfucker.
Yeah,
The
we did
motherfucker
good.
Filipino.
We did good too. We weren't too low energy. We made it work. All right, so maybe I don't know if Eric will ever be back, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Otherwise, we'll make new T-shirts.
Yeah,
you remember the one when he disappeared in the Philippines?
Well, I'm making stickers of that now. Jamie just sent it to me yesterday, and for New York, I'm gonna have those "Have you seen him?" stickers.
Yeah, or we should make like fake milk boxes with his photo on the bottom.
Yes. Have you seen? That's perfect. Perfecto. And I just learned, because I've always said perfecto, but it's perfetto.
Perfecto.
Perfecto.
No C.
Yeah, right.
No.
Exactly.
I think that perfecto is Spanish.
That's Spanish. Yeah.
How are you doing with your Italian? Getting
good,
better,
man. I'm getting better. That's awesome. I'm at 110 days in a row now.
That's awesome.
So like I'm learning like to be in a store like io ho bisogno de what's one of the
things? Sborra in faccia.
What's that?
Come on my face.
Yes, I want cum on my face. That's exactly what I was trying to say. But actually, no. Io ho bisogno is I need, and vorrei is I want. Right?
Vorrei is more like I would like.
Yeah, I would
because
like.
I want is voglio, which is kind of like aggressive.
Oh, okay. Oh, shit. Okay. So I want cum on my face. Yeah. Like that. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's where when you're talking to me, when you're really wanting, and I already know it, so there's I'll
have that
to be
ready
polite about it.
No, just like in New York, you'll see it. I'll be ready.
Well, you will see it at first, and then you won't see it anymore because it's all over your face and on your eyes. But yeah.
All right. Well, we did it. All right. Sign us out of here.